What is up, guys? And welcome back. It is gonna be Friday because I'm putting it out on Friday. It is finally Friday. We're not playing the game anymore because we done yesterday. I got
Yeah.
Tim here with me,
Hi everyone.
and we're doing a review on the game that we just fucking played and fucking argued about forever.
For the last 10 weeks, so things are good. Things are good, or something.
Maybe we will see.
Possibly.
We
We'll
will
see.
see.
Yeah.
So basically, the game is about this family, basically about Cody and May. They're a couple who are about to get divorced, and
Yep.
Cody is really upset that May is always constantly working all the time. She don't have no time for the family. She's always working, and they go and they tell their daughter Rose. I don't know how old she is. And basically,
I think I guess she's supposed to be like 9 or 10, probably.
I mean, I'm old enough to can buy a stupid book. But anyway, so she goes and they tell her she gets upset. She has like these handmade dolls that kind of look like her parents, I guess, and goes
That should
to a
be
shed.
that should have been your first warning right there. If your children starts making voodoo dolls of you and your wife, it's time to start making an intervention, guys.
Pretty much. So then, yeah, she goes and she starts crying, and I guess their tears are like magic. And next thing you know, the parents become the dolls, and they have to do like a bunch of stuff to become human again. So, and then there's this book. This
Oh God, the
stupid
book.
was it Dr. Hakim or something like that.
Hakeem, I think. I
Something
don't
like that.
even know.
I don't know. I call him the stupid book.
Yeah, the stupid gyrating book.
Yeah. So there is chapters in this book that basically you have to do. So we're gonna go through the chapters. Is that okay with you?
Yeah.
Cool.
That's fine. That's
I
fine.
feel like that'd be easier. So in chapter 1, we start off in the shed. Actually, like chapter 1.
Chapter one was good.
I like it.
Chapter one was really good. I know the point is that chapter one is basically just introducing the concepts and characters and so on, but I actually really liked chapter one.
Really
It
did.
was there wasn't any real frustration. It was fun. That was when we used to say, this is cheesy but fun. That was basically chapter 1 through 4, more or less.
Yeah. And then we had to fight the what was it?
The vacuum cleaner, I think.
It was the vacuum cleaner. And wasn't there like a toolbox we had to fight too?
Yeah. I think there were multiple boss fights in the first one.
There was fight.
Yeah.
The toolbox and the vacuum cleaner, and there were some frustrating parts on that because this game, unlike the other game that we had played with A Way Out, there was so much things that we had to do together. As A Way Out was like, hey, how do we move this board over here?
Yeah, exactly.
And this one is like, here, you hold this, and we had to time it at the same time. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
it was
very.
It was harder too because like we live in two different countries. There's kind of a delay and shit. I'm like, okay.
What? I mean, we're 9,000 miles apart, guys. It's not the easiest thing to coordinate this thing always. You also have to remember that when we play, it's either midnight my time or midnight Toya's time. So our level of energy at that point, especially having been at work all day, for me, and Toya having to deal with the kids and everything all day, the energy levels might be lower than it could possibly have been if we were closer to each other.
Definitely.
Could have done it like midday or something.
Definitely. But then we have chapter 2, which was the tree. I really like chapter 2, the tree, because this is where the part where you found out you could swing on things, and I really like swinging on things. That was like
that was
swinging
one of
in
the
the
funniest.
that was fun. And
swinging and gliding were my two favorite things in this game.
Yeah, me too. I could just swing all day on this fucking game.
Yeah. If they had just made this a game, if they had just made this like a swinging and sliding platforming game, I would have been perfectly happy with.
Right, me too.
Not gonna lie. and again, it was still kind of fun to see the hostile squirrels and everything. The game was still new. It wasn't particularly. It was still fun. It was really fun to do. I really liked
Yeah, I
that.
mean, we had to fight like the squirrels and wasp
Yeah,
and
yeah, and you started shooting goop and
yep.
lighting it on fire,
Mm.
and there was very. That was when the game started being, having a slightly erotic subtext there.
Yeah.
That would be a lot more of that later.
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. But yeah, so we have chapter three. Chapter three was the pillow fort. I think after we got out of 'cause they made the girls made Cody's underwear into an airplane and a parachute. We had to
Yeah.
glide away through, and we had to go to like the the
Uh,
pillow fort in the window. I don't know. I guess it was like part of Rose with extra room or something. I'm not even sure.
I guess.
I
I
guess I
guess.
don't know. I have no idea. But yeah, I don't really much about the pillow fort.
The pillow fort was fine. It wasn't really until chapter 4 that things started to go
Yeah,
off
yeah,
the rails for me. The pillow fort was still kind of like it was getting the frustrating things, or the stuff that really frustrated us started creeping in chapter 3 at the pillow fort, but it wasn't really until we got to chapter 4 that it
yeah.
started getting super annoying. So chapter 3, if chapter 3 had been like the highest level of annoyance, it would have been fine. Not a single
But
problem.
it wasn't. It got worse, guys. It got
Yeah.
worse. So chapter 4, the space station. Good God.
Oh god,
Oh
the
God.
fucking moon monkey.
Oh
That was when
God.
it started.
I just
That was when it started.
I had those upside down shoes. You could. I was like.
Uh,
uh,
the one thing this game could really have to. I know. The whole attraction to this would be to work together, to coordinate, to find out what to do, to take brain teasers and, collaborate to solve them. But good lord, could this game have used like a couple of small in game tutorials in how to solve various puzzle ideas?
like easy mode. How to fucking
Not necessarily
little
easy
not
modes,
easy
but
mode, but like hints. Like give
yeah,
us a hint,
ju-
like a clue. Like we had been so frustrated with each other. We were trying to figure shit out, and we were like,
yeah,
"We're not doing it right. Well, you don't even know what the fuck you're doing."
yeah. No, I don't, because I can't figure out what the hell is going on around here.
Like, what are you
Um,
talking about?
that was the one where I start when we started, like, you had to run up and down things, and I have to switch size and everything. Yeah, that was when things started getting. I mean, for some people, they might like this. They might like stuff like that, but it. When I play a game, especially a game where I need to again coordinate over the internet, possibly. I like it when things are something you can just take and get into, even if it can be difficult. When you have to fight the game itself, it starts getting annoying, and there was a lot of little fiddly bits that was just
Yeah.
yeah, it was getting bad. And
Like
again, some of these tasks were just getting
worse.
that was the point where some of those tasks were just getting frustratingly annoying.
It really was. It was kind of.
When I started getting not because we couldn't solve them, but because a lot of the time it was like, how do we even begin to solve this one? There was no hint. There was no like walk in this direction. No possible way. I mean, some of the times we were like, you saw this, or maybe you guys have seen it. Some of the time we were literally stumped. Now, I'm not saying Toya and I are necessarily the most intelligent people in the world. If someone is usually very good at this, they might have had a better time. But we are fairly average gamers, and we are playing this together, and we usually get along pretty well. I know we fight a lot when we stream, and a lot of those fights are real. We might be playing some of them up, but they are coming from a proper place.
Yes.
But
Killed him.
Yeah, absolutely. Always she does. But the point I'm kind of trying to make is that if a game starts getting frustrating instead of fun and challenging, it has a problem.
Yeah,
And from chapter 4 on, basically until the last chapter, once we got into the last chapter, things started improving actually for some weird reason. Maybe it because like
it was
the
the
the,
last
the
chapter.
it was like, yeah, the developers were like, just like us, oh, we are almost done, we can relax now. But from chapter 4 to chapter 9, I don't know how many chapters there was, honestly. um 12, I think. From chapter 4 to the second to last chapter, it was everything was a question of frustration, not fun challenges, just
Well, I
frustration.
don't know.
And,
Maybe.
yeah, I
Well,
mean,
let's go to the
figuring. Yeah, let's go to the next chapter.
let's go on and on.
I can go on and on.
So
Strangely enough, yes. I have
the
opinions.
the
It's
next
weird.
chapter. Shut up. I'm trying to talk. The next chapter, chapter 5, is the road to um to the magical castle. We have to go basically try to go to the magical castle to kill the
Yeah.
freaking elephant. I actually like this chapter because this is chapter 1 where I had the little
Yes.
sword thing and I gotta be a
Yes.
knight and that this was a fun chapter. I
Yeah.
actually like this
It,
chapter.
it was super fun. It was really straightforward. You could figure out what you had to do. You still had to do it, and we still had failings all along. That's what I mean. That was fun and challenging.
Yeah, and then you had to do
You
the
could,
chess move and you had to I mean it was pretty fun. This
yeah,
one was pretty
and
fun.
when you had to work together, it made logical sense the way you had to work together. It didn't feel contrived.
Yeah.
That the road to the castle was really fun. Also, it was a lot more forgiving about. I mean, we could explore both of us without necessarily putting the game on pause.
Mm.
It worked really, really well. Chapter 5 was like, this is a good example of when the game is good, because the game does have good aspects to it.
It really does.
Absolutely,
It
has
really
super
does.
good ideas. Just the yeah.
Yeah, but let's move on, shall we? Let's go to
Yep.
chapter 6, with kind of was my favorite toward the end, but we had a little bit of trouble with this one. The Gate of Time. This is when we were in the cuckoo clock.
Yeah, that was in the cuckoo clock. Again,
Uh,
that was probably my hate chapter overall.
well, we
I
had that one
don't think I ever came closer to. I mean, apart from the one where I still think the game was
glitched.
broken, glitched, broken. Just in general, other people had the same problem.
Mm-hmm.
That was the one where I was never ever closer
That
to rage
that
quitting.
that blooper thing was pretty funny though.
Yeah, the blooper thing was very. We need to make more blooper. We need to make more blooper thing. We do have bloopers from our shootings, guys. I know it sometimes seems like Toya basically just takes everything we does and slap them on, but there are bloopers at our at our shoots.
Yeah, I just had to figure out how to do that. But yeah, we do have bloopers.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this one was pretty long too, and it was just some of the things in this chapter was just kind of like, why do I need his help?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't need help.
Exactly. That was exactly what I mean with the cooperative modes feeling contrived. We have to do something, so these two have to work together, even if it doesn't make sense.
Right. I mean, I
If
think
if Road to the Castle was, apart from the gut-wrenching end where we murdered the elephant, I still feel bad about that a month later. Seriously, it's
Yeah.
one of the few times a game actually got to me. That was that freaking
yeah,
elephant.
I feel bad about that elephant.
But if the Road to the Castle was like the perfect example of what this game can be and why any people would enjoy it, the Cuckoo Clock was the exact opposite. All of its flaws just magnified and collected into one chapter with a almost game-breaking glitch in the middle.
Yeah, and then and the thing was like after that one part where the clock blows up, we had to like run at the same time. Otherwise,
Yeah, exactly.
it would have been like, oh, well, fuck. No, I fell. Well,
Yeah.
damn it, we gotta do it again. It had to be precise, and it was just like,
Yeah,
oh my god, like if I made it, he made it. Why we have to be at the same time?
that's what I meant with the game sometimes being fiddly. It's like also when you had to jump up and slam down on something,
Yeah,
it have to
it
be like
was.
not only at the same time, but within a microsecond and micromillimeter of each other. Some of the stuff was just way too fiddly.
Yeah, it was like, or those things where we had to like, oh, we have to run over here, and run across the other side of the thing before it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just like,
Again, the game could really do with a couple of in-game hints. Not necessarily something you can activate, just a couple of tiny in-game hints here and there, and a bit more generosity when it comes to the actual teamwork.
yeah. There was also like things that we had to fly on birds, and that made me
Yeah.
sick. That made me
Yeah,
nauseous.
okay. That was another thing about this game. We'll get to that in later chapters. That is something you guys. I mean, I still like
Well,
the
that's in
developers
the
of this.
Gates
If
of
nothing
Time.
else, I like Gates of Time. I
That
still like the idea of this game, and I really like playing A Way Out earlier. But you guys developers, you won't listen to this. But if you do, you really have got to try to make something that doesn't make people like. I had a headache at one point. We
oh
had to
yeah.
quit one shoot. We had to quit one shoot for entire week because my head just hurt.
Mm-hmm.
I just couldn't. It was towards the end where we were like in a computer or something. My head. I literally started having a migraine from the crap on the screen.
True. True story.
Yeah, true story.
Alright, guys. Well, we have chapter.
Anyway, enough of that chapter. That was bad. That was just
I mean, I
bad,
like the
bad,
last
bad.
the part where the clock blows up, but that was my
Yeah,
favorite
yeah,
part. But
yeah.
chapter 7, we have the snow globe.
The snow globe was a mix. The snow globe, in my opinion, wasn't
The snow globe,
super bad.
it wasn't bad. It was just time consuming, I guess.
Yeah. It was too long. Was
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah,
It was too long for what it did.
Yeah, it was Go ahead.
Had they cut it down with like a third, I think it would have been fine.
I agree. I totally agree with that. It was just too. I was just like, sometimes we had to do it over again. Remember we had to do it over again because it was like, oh.
Shooting the whole thing. That's another thing, guys. I know you are working a lot on chapter saves, like chapter checkpoints, but if any one of you guys play this, you have to remember that if you're not playing it all the way through, it actually auto-saves only at established checkpoints. And there is no hint to where those checkpoints are. You can sort of suss it out, but you don't know. And at one point, we actually had to do an entire episode's worth of content again before we started shooting because the checkpoint was a bit iffy.
Yeah, definitely. It was just.
It went relatively fast because we knew what we were doing, but it was still like, just why?
Well,
why?
some of the things that frustrated me was like we had to do the whole because that was the whole magnet thing, right?
Yeah.
And we had to do the whole freaking magnet thing on the wall and bouncing and all that stuff. I was like, good lord, I can't get this crap. And you had to like shoot it, and I had to like get it precise. And we're like, and it's like every time Tim's like telling me what to do, and I'm like, shut the fuck up, Tim.
Yeah.
I know.
I think I never got angry at Toya after I got angry at Toya during the Cuckoo Clock. Just because, I didn't get angry at Toya as such. I was just super frustrated and I took it out on her. I think Toya got legitimately angry at me during the snow globe.
Yeah.
Which, of course, I might have played a little bit into because,
It's an
audience. But, yeah, also that. But I think Toya actually might have gotten slightly angry at me during that one.
I was like legitimately cussing you out in my
Yeah.
like, this motherfucker, I'm going to go and kill him.
That's like I said at one point, mainly for fun, but There is
Well,
some
cause
there is
sometimes
some
Tim be
truth to it
like,
that I am very happy there is an entire continent and a major ocean between us sometimes.
but it's like let's go back to when we were at the I would think it was the gate or the castle
Yeah,
where
yeah, yeah,
we were fighting that
yeah,
one bug thing.
yeah,
And you kept telling me, I'm like, oh my god, this motherfucker, I'm trying, like, I'm really trying. I'm like, oh my god, I'm trying not to cuss his ass out right now, because I'm about to rage quit and say, fuck this game, and fuck
yeah.
Tim, and everything else, and that.
Another thing, guys. This isn't the game's fault, but several times during this, Toya or me, so it might actually been the game, had some issues with our controllers,
Yeah.
which made it difficult. Especially, it made it difficult because my tendency when I know how to do something is to tell people. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm like the biggest mansplainer in the world, but I tend to like. I don't actually think that Toya doesn't know what to do. I don't think she doesn't. She can't figure it out. I don't. It's not that. It's just if I see her doing something where I know it's not going to work, I blab it out, and it's not helping. It's really
and
not
it's
helping,
like, I'm
especially
just
when her
talking out loud. I'm
controller is
thinking to
fucking
myself, well,
up.
talk out loud to yourself. Shut up.
Yeah.
You're not helping the situation.
Oh,
Damn.
it's that also might have increased a level of frustration from time to time.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think after this chapter, I was just like, dude, how more
Yeah,
chapters? I actually went to go
yeah,
look. Because I was like, if I had
yeah,
to do any more chapters, I'm going to lose my fucking mind.
yeah. Absolutely. That was
But yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't even. Oh, who did we fight in the snow?
I don't actually think the snow
Snow
globe
globe was
had a
driving us.
dedicated
No.
boss at the end, which also made it
We fought
like
the
very
blizzard.
weird. We did fight the blizzard, actually. Yeah, we did fight the blizzard.
So I think basically we had to save the town or something in that fucking chapter. But yeah. And once in a while the book will come back and it'll say, fuck you, book.
Yeah. That honestly, again, just from a game design perspective, the book got annoying.
Yeah, it did.
The book got really annoying.
Really annoying.
Especially,
hated
I mean,
that
it's
book.
it's one thing if it came up after a sequence that was just really frustrating to get through. But even beyond that, the book was just. I didn't like it as a video game character. I just didn't like it. They could have done that one better. Is what
I mean,
is
he
what
kept
I think.
gyrating everywhere. I'm like, kind of.
Maybe it's all. Maybe it's also just because I have had bad relationships in the past. Some of them might have been saved. Obviously, the whole conceit of the game is that, you know, May and Cody is not actually falling out of love as much as they are just not, you know, taking time to be with each other.
To appreciate one another.
Appreciate one another, work with each other's differences, give each other credit and praise and so on.
I'm glad that Cody and May were getting together in this situation because I was gonna
Yeah.
catch him, but I didn't.
Yeah. But the point I'm trying to make is I've had relationship that has failed, and I've had relationship that might have been saved. My relationship would not have been saved by by forcing me into a series of incredibly frustrating and life-threatening situations, while a really annoying, peppy, superior, smug book spouted, you know,
You don't know that.
bullshit penny psychological advice at me.
You don't know.
It just wouldn't.
You don't know that.
I don't know that. I'm sure I would still have been with my ex girlfriend if it had been like that.
I'm sure you
Clearly,
would.
I just needed Dr. Hakim's Book of Love.
Definitely, and a child. So that
And a child,
that
of
probably would have
course.
been a problem. So.
Of course, absolutely. You heard it here first, guys. If a relationship is failing, procreate. It'll solve all your problems.
Well, no. But anyway, let's go to chapter. Let's go to chapter 8. We're at the garden.
The garden was okay.
I like the garden.
The garden
was okay, except for when we were on the spiders and we had to go upside down.
Yeah. Again.
I like the spider thing. Well, that was just like one of those things. I'm like.
Again, I was about to say, except for when it made me queasy.
Yeah.
When it started making us queasy again because of just the way the whole thing worked, then it was bad. And again, it might have been a little bit too long. There were a couple of repeating sequences where we just had to do the same thing again and again.
This is
They could
where
have stopped
I
that.
fucking yelled at him too. I was like, which one is it? He's like, it's the one on the left. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
right here on the left. What the hell are you talking about? Like,
Go left. Go left.
goddamn. I was
Yeah.
like, I was like, nope, nope, I can't do this anymore. I'm like, I refuse to do this. I refuse.
Uh,
I was like, if we don't end up in divorce, I'm gonna be pissed.
I know. Seriously, I was about to send that little brat Rose off to military school. I wasn't kidding about that one. Um. Anyway, the garden was okay. It wasn't the best. It wasn't the worst. Again, I just felt like it got repetitive
Yeah,
towards the end.
it really. I feel like
Um.
some of these chapters didn't even be in the fucking
No, and if they
chapters.
were, they should have been made. They should have been.
Bit
This game
shorter.
was. This game. They said this game could be done in like 10 or 12 hours. That's probably true, but I honestly think it would have been better if they had made it like 6 or 8 hours
Yeah,
and just kept to the interesting things.
true, true. I agree.
I mean, there's a ton of mini games
Yeah,
within
there
the
really are.
later game that we basically didn't use. You can add a lot of time with that, but I really think this game could have at least trimmed 2 hours out of its runtime and been better for it.
Yeah, I agree. I totally agree with that. But let's go to the last chapter, chapter 9, which was the attic. Which I like this
That
chapter.
I actually really like that.
This
I
chapter was
that was
fun.
also when I start liking the writing, because
Hmm.
one thing I
I actually
noticed
started
was
liking
that
the book in the book too until you turned on us.
yeah, the fucking book. I actually that was when I started liking the writing, because one thing I noticed was that when I mean at that point we had checked how many chapters were left. We knew that was the last chapter. Um, but it wasn't actually until then that I mean the whole point was that these two need to learn to love each other again or whatever, appreciate each other. Up until the end of the garden, they were still basically in the same place as when they started.
Yeah.
Um, to a certain degree, they remembered the good times they had together, but I don't see any evidence they didn't do that before. It wasn't until the last chapter where, I mean, May has stage fright, doesn't want to sing, that's fine. Cody is, at this point, starting to get
Yeah,
fully
apparently you
supportive.
find out May could sing, and I was like, oh, okay.
Absolutely, she could. Actually, I don't know who they found to do May singing.
It was
I don't
really
know if it
nice.
was the actress, but it was really good.
Really good. Really nice.
But I feel like that should have been that particular thing where they start to be a team rather than to be forced to be a team should have started mid game maybe
Yeah.
and developed up until the final chapter. The final chapter is like we are already fully united front. Let's just do this and prove it to the world, so to speak.
I think the whole thing is like it was like basically having support for one another, because it was like
yeah,
when we were in the garden, it's like, oh, May appreciated Cody for his garden and stuff like that. It was kind of
yeah.
like in each chapter, each one had, I appreciate you for this and appreciate you for that. But by the time at the end, it's like, okay, why were you like leaving each other and we care about each
Yeah,
other and everything?
exactly. And if that has started, the point is the previous
I feel
chapters they
like
found, oh, I do appreciate that about you. And then we start a new chapter and they're right back to not giving a shit about it.
yeah.
It was only at the last chapter where it was actually like, we are starting to become I feel like that should narratively have been drawn out a bit more or shown a bit earlier in the game. But the point is, I actually liked the last chapter. Apart from the facts, again, where strobe lighting and
Oh,
just
the
weird
LSD.
camera angles gave me
Man, guys,
headaches.
drugs, all
Yeah,
the drugs.
so many drugs, so much LSD.
Chapter 9, all the drugs. But so I think the last part is, May starts singing on the stage. And
Yep.
she floats in the air, and her and Cody start making up and making out and having a show. And they go back to being a human again. Yay!
Yay!
And then Rose runs away, and we have to go chase her.
Yeah, Rose is good at many things. She's apparently a witch. She can turn her parents' souls, I guess,
Pull them
into
out into a
into voodoo,
doll.
invisible voodoo dolls, and so on and so on. But she's really sucky at running away, seeing as she apparently went like 20 yards down the road and sat on a bench.
Yeah.
I mean, it feels
She
maybe
can't
it's
even.
just me,
I
but
mean,
it
she didn't run
feels
away
like
night. I was just like, okay.
it feels like Cody and May basically just opened the front door. Oh, she's there.
Really? There she
So
is.
much for running away. Yeah. Oh no, she ran away. We're never gonna find her. We lost our daughter. Everything we've done is for. Oh right, she's right over there.
No way. Right. She on the front porch.
Yeah. It's like that was a bit weird.
Well then, yeah, they
Um.
all went together and they had a happy ending, and we kept the book, and they kept the book,
Yeah.
and they put it on the thing, and you see freaking. Yeah,
Overall
that.
score.
Overall, though, that thing, I would 7 out of 10.
I wouldn't even go that far. I would say 5.
I didn't hate it after a while.
I would say 5, not because it's bad. 5 out of 10 is not bad, by the way. I just felt like with all the good stuff being weighed down by all the bad stuff, I feel a 5 out of 10 is not a game I would play again, and I would not play this game again.
I wouldn't play the game again.
A 7
I
out
mean,
of 10, a 7 out of 10
I don't
game
know.
I
I
would.
might play it again just to frustrate people.
Yeah, 7 out of 10 game I would probably play again.
I would.
This game I doubt I would ever voluntarily go back into if I wasn't, drunk or on more drugs than needed for the last chapter.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't really. For me, 7 out of 10. It's like a half and half of whether I will go play it again or not.
Yeah, all right. I mean, I feel it was a step down from A Way Out. The actual control scheme and so, I mean, in a lot of ways, the gameplay itself was a step up.
Well,
It was much more smoothly. It flowed a lot easier
you
than
have
A Way
to
Out.
figure out A Way Out was their first game, so it's probably
Yeah.
going to be a little more easier.
Yeah.
Also, A Way Out, I mean, even though it's like supposed to be like teamwork, not really, because Vince was trying to pretty much it was just using on what's his face. I don't know.
I can't even remember.
I can't remember his name.
It hasn't even been that long since we played it. I can't remember.
But the cop was trying to use the criminal to get to the other guy. So it's not like they're really gonna be like teamwork. Whereas this game, they're trying to like bring their marriage back together, or at least the book is. So it just makes more sense because it's like I don't like in a way they didn't even know each other.
I personally think I like.
I mean, I like A Way Out more than this game.
Yeah. No. I mean, from a pure gameplay perspective, I think I like the co-op in A Way Out a bit more than this one, just because it was a lot more forgiving and not as fiddly and frustrating.
I mean, I wish A Way Out was a little bit longer, to be honest.
Yeah, A Way Out, like, this could have very well handled, like, cutting 2 hours of the runtime. Mm-hmm. A Way Out could very well have benefited from adding 2 hours to the runtime.
Definitely.
Absolutely. That was way too short. Not way too short, but it was too short.
It wasn't long enough, and this is too long.
Yeah. If nothing else, the ending of the game could have used some extra time. From the two landing, Vince and whatever his name, landing the plane and the betrayal until the ending of the game, it was like half an hour. That could probably have used some more time, if nothing else.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely took some time in this, and It Takes Two, and the ending.
Yeah.
Like, it was a little bit too long for me. I'm like, okay, cool. Like,
I mean, that be what that be. Again, this game has a lot of really good ideas. Has a lot of really good concepts. If they can figure out to take away all the frustrating crap, the next game they're making can be amazing.
Well, here's the thing, right? Most people, when they could, because I mean, we had frames.
Yeah.
So I feel like most people, when they play this game, there's not. I mean, unless they're playing it like on like line or whatever, and they're just playing it for fun. that probably not gonna be no time frame. You're probably gonna just, hey, I'm just gonna play this
Of
game with
course.
a friend or whatever. It's not gonna be like, oh, well, I have to play at this time, whatever, blah blah. So it could be a little easier to less frustrating and less pressure on that on the two
Again,
people.
most of the time we played around midnight my time after a long work day for me. I also don't guarantee my cognitive skills and my just muscle control, fine muscle control, was as sharp as it could have been. But I still feel this game was more was. I still feel the game was just a lot more frustrating than A Way Out.
Yeah, it definitely was because
Yeah.
had to. I mean, you guys watch it. I'll put the playlist on the thing, but it's a lot more stuff we had to do together
Yeah.
in the way out. Cause I mean, what do we had to do in the way
Yeah.
out? Move this.
Basically, yeah, and that's what I mean. I actually feel like that worked better with separate tasks each have to do, but each of them forgiving enough that you're not entirely dependent on the other doing something to absolute perfection within a split second.
Mm-hmm.
I just kind of like that. Maybe it's just me, but I just like that one better. I feel like they could have benefited from taking the good stuff in A Way Out and perfecting it rather than trying to make an entire quantum leap to the next step.
I don't know. Maybe I mean, yeah, I guess. Maybe after a while I'll go back again. I'll go back home, but yeah, it was frustrating at times. I mean, sometimes it was fun. I mean, we had some fun moments and stuff like that, and sometimes we had some frustrating moments. I think, like you said, that should have like some reflection on how to do
Yeah.
things. But I mean, all we were trying to tell us, oh yeah, I need to figure it out. Oh, kind of like a kind of hub game, figure it out. I'm pretty sure we could or there was times that we had to go and look shit up because we couldn't figure it out. Cause like, what the fuck?
That's what I mean. That the ability to have a tiny hint of something
Yeah.
would have been nice. I think it's the first time in the. I mean, we haven't played that many games together, obviously, but I don't think we ever had to look up anything in A Way
No,
Out.
I don't think so. But I mean, like I said, that was our first game and probably was the easiest one. So yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, guys, we're gonna wrap it
Yeah.
up.
Yep. Try this game if you want to. Try this game if you want. I don't want to scare anyone away from
Oh
this
yeah,
game.
no, it's a fun game. It was just
You
like
can have a lot of fun.
like
Just
most
go.
games, it could be a little bit frustrating.
Yeah.
There's not too many games that's like, oh wow, this game is freaking easy. Like even you play Candy Crush, I become frustrated. What the fuck?
Exactly.
So,
Knowing its flaws, so you are prepared for them. That's basically all I'm saying.
but yeah. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching our series. I know we're gonna be back, but yeah, we'll be back.
Later this autumn, I'm sure, but it'll be a couple of months.
We'll see. We'll find out.
It'll be at least a couple of months.
But,
I think there will be a break now.
yeah, there's definitely going to be a break. But I'll explain everything in my other review video of The Last of Us, which will be on Tuesday. But anyways, guys, have a good weekend. We'll see you. Well, I'll see you Tuesday. I don't know when you'll see Tim. See Tim on Sunday.
Yeah, Thursdays and Sundays.
Yep. Bye, guys.
I'm even.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No.
You have any
I'm just
more
saying.
to say?
I'm just saying. I'm playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, and I'm even more frustrated than I was with this one. So enjoy my suffering. Bye.
Bye.